What if your workplace injury wasn't obvious, but the real damage showed up later? That's the reality with toxic chemical exposure. Because in a lot of these cases, there isn't one clear moment where everything goes wrong. A worker may be exposed to substances like asbestos, silica, benzene, or industrial chemicals over weeks, months, or even years before the real symptoms start to show up. And when those symptoms show up, they don't always point back to the job right away. It might start with headaches, coughing, fatigue, or irritation, something that feels minor at first, something that's easy to brush off. But in some cases, these early warning signs are actually the beginning of a much more serious long-term illness. That delay is exactly what makes these cases more complicated, because this isn't always just a workers' compensation claim. You still have the right to medical care, the right to report the exposure, and the right to know what chemicals were involved. But in certain situations, you may also have the right to pursue claims against third parties who contributed to the exposure. And that's where things start to change, because responsibility may not stop with your employer. It could involve chemical manufacturers, suppliers, outside contractors, or even property owners who allowed those unsafe conditions to exist. And unlike workers' compensation, those types of claims can allow recovery for things like pain and suffering and long-term impact. But proving that kind of case is not simple. What it often comes down to is building a timeline. What you were exposed to, how often, what warnings were or were not provided, and how that exposure connects to your illness over time. And that's where records start to matter. Safety data sheets, OSHA standards, medical history, and expert analysis all become part of the bigger picture. Because in these cases, it's not just about showing that you're sick, it's about proving why. This is why these cases are often underestimated early on, because what looks like a minor issue today can turn into something much more serious down the line.